I have recently come across a new area of just full-blown rage bait content, and I need to talk about it because I need to invite you guys into this insanity with me, okay? Don't leave me stranded. You guys need to see what I'm seeing because this isn't normal, right? If you couldn't tell from today's title, we are going to be talking about rage bait in the makeup beauty industry. Now, we've seen a lot of things that are rage inducing in the beauty community, mainly overconsumption for one. But this type of content that I'm going to present to you today is a whole different level of not only overconsumption, but waste. And the purpose of the content being produced is for that purpose, is to invoke rage in people. Now, because this trend originally started in 2024, I didn't see it back then, okay? I wasn't really on TikTok that much, but now it has resurfaced in 2025. And so this is where I'm getting familiar with this type of content. But if you're not new to the beauty industry on TikTok, you've probably seen this type of content before. A girl sitting in her car, smacking on gum, cutting a bottle of foundation open and just dumping it onto her face. Also, while wearing a white shirt that she's just going to sacrifice for the sake of the video. And by the time she wipes the extra foundation off her hands and directly onto her shirt, you're sitting there, mouth open, confused, angry, and somehow watching the video again to make sure you saw what you really think you did. And that, my friends, is rage bait. And in the beauty space, it is so prominent right now. So for me, this whole video idea blossomed when I came across a creator named MAYMAY. From what I could tell on TikTok, MAYMAY has a bunch of different TikTok accounts, but I don't know if it's actually her that is producing these accounts. When I was posting on TikTok a lot with my Christian content, a lot of people would create fake TikTok accounts and then take my videos and post on there. So if you search up MAYMAY and you see a bunch of different accounts, that's most likely what's happening. I don't know what the real account is, to be frank. However, the TikTok account that I did find has been posting this type of content since March 17th of this year. By March 24th, she went absolutely viral, leading to a video that got 9.4 million views. And ever since I've started coming across this content and obviously looking into MAYMAY, I've been seeing a lot more people doing this kind of wasteful makeup beauty routines for no other purpose than to just invoke rage in people. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how rage bait works. I also want to talk about how this trend with people sitting in the cars wasting a bunch of makeup started. And I also want to talk about, if we continue with this type of content, where influencer culture is headed. Obviously, I think influencer culture is already going down the toilet, but this kind of content is just kind of fueling that fire. And it's just going to bring on the end of influencer culture even sooner, in my opinion. So first things first, let's talk about how this trend started. Now, from what I've seen from some of the comments on the other TikTok videos I'm going to show you guys today, I found out that the original creator of this trend is a creator named Kay, who posted a video like this on February 4th, 2024. It took over TikTok beauty spaces, and other creators just added more stuff to it to make it more annoying, like chewing on gum obnoxiously and wiping things on their white shirts, which Kay did not do. And the reason it went viral was because it was absolutely preposterous. Now, I'm going to show you guys the video that I found on my TikTok For You page, and I really thought about what to do for this video, if I was going to keep the sound in so you guys can experience the rage, or if I was going to take the sound out, and I am opting to leave it in, but please know you can mute the video if it's going to bother you, because I understand. And you know, I'm sacrificing my own sanity for you guys because I have no desire to listen to this again, okay? For the sake of the video, I think it's important to get the full picture of what people are seeing and what these influencers are doing. So please feel free to mute the video. Let's watch this video. She honestly just needs to close her mouth, but I feel like that's part of the rage bait content. And what she's trying to do is purposefully annoy people. Like, oh man, the white shirt, guys. I could not honestly imagine having that much foundation on your face and that much product. Like, it must feel absolutely awful. Now, I'm no makeup connoisseur, but I honestly don't believe that there needs to be that much makeup on. fact there's 3 minutes left of this video, or we're not even halfway through. Oh man, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you guys the whole video, honestly. Close your mouth. Finally, some relief from the chewing. Oh my gosh. That's so much. Okay, so she laughs at the end of this video and she knows for sure that this video is just absolutely preposterous, and she knows why she's making the video. She doesn't make content like this all the time, but this was just like one isolated incident, and I feel like that's only because she needed engagement. She is a makeup artist, so she does a lot of, I don't know how to describe it, like a lot of character makeup, movie makeup, things like that. So she is used to wearing a lot of makeup on her face, and I'm not here to villainize makeup at all. However, when you're doing something to purposefully invoke rage in somebody, the respect is gone, okay? The respect is gone, and I think she's very talented when she wants to be. That video, however, that I just showed you guys is not talent. We're gonna get into and dive into that a little bit more. I did go back a little bit further and see if she posted this type of content before, because originally I did think it was a one-off, but it seems that she posted another video back in March where she was doing a satire version of this, kind of calling out another creator that's doing this named Christy Webley, which I'll show you guys her content as well. But Emily posted a satire version of this, and then I guess because it got so much engagement, it got 5.9 million views the first time, she then thought it would be beneficial to do it again. And so while I think maybe she was making fun of this other creator to begin with, she saw that the engagement worked and then wanted to do it again. Regardless of if this is satire or not, the fact of the matter is that it's still wastefulness for literally no reason, all for the sake of content. I'm going to take a screenshot of just a few of her videos, but as you can see, the videos before this rage invoking video didn't do nearly as well as the one where she's invoking rage. It got 1.5 million views. There are a lot of videos that she has that do go somewhat viral, but that one did very, very well. And there's a reason for that. This is the kind of content that just makes you stop mid-scroll and you're just like, wait, what am I watching here? And by the time you've already watched it all the way through, commented on it, sent it to your friend, the algorithm is already rewarding it, because rage bait is engineered to perform well. It doesn't matter if the response is negative, engagement is engagement. You being mad in the comments helps me watching that video. Even though I had saved it, me watching that video initially helps. And I'm to blame as much as anybody else, okay? I come across this content, and while I get infuriated watching the video the whole way through, I'm part of the problem, and I admit that. The point being is that engagement is engagement, whether or not you're sending it to your friend, whether or not you're commenting, whether or not you're watching it all the way through, and then again to just make sure what you watch is what you actually watched. It helps push that content out more and reach more people. And with this type of content, it is very, very, very hard to ignore it. We respond to things that invoke rage in us. We find it hard to hold back our tongue when things piss us off. And when things piss us off, we want to share that with our friends so then we know we're not alone in the anger. Now, this creator is very, very talented. I'm going to show some of her other videos as well, just so you guys know that she is an actual makeup artist and she is talented. But that content of her in her car doing a bunch of makeup, smacking on gum, wiping makeup on her white shirt, that content is not helpful. It's not trying to teach you how to blend foundation or match undertones. It's not trying to teach you how to do character makeup. It's designed to make you feel rage and then engage with it. And in an algorithm that rewards time spent watching an interaction over actual quality or intention, rage bait will always win. So I want to break down why this is happening and why rage bait is just so prominent right now. Because it's not just a few creators being unhinged, it's shifting the way content is made and not just in the beauty space. What I want to point out here is rage bait is very strategic. It's not random. These creators take effort to create content that will make you mad. This isn't someone being unintentionally wasteful. It's someone being wasteful intentionally. And that was kind of like a tongue twister to say. Someone really thought about, you know what, I'm going to waste this amount of product for this video because I've seen this person do it and this person do it, and they've gotten a lot of views, a lot of comments. It's boosted the stats on their page, views to other videos, etc. Every choice, from the setting to the tone to the amount of product, is carefully designed to trigger people. Doing this type of makeup in the car is not a real routine. While some people do their makeup in the car, they're not doing that. They're not wiping foundation on their shirts. They're not pouring out a whole bottle of foundation in their hands so then it's going to get everywhere. It's not a real routine. It's just chaotic energy on purpose. And wiping that amount of product on your shirt, I don't know how easy that would be to clean, but it feels like just an insult to anyone who's ever been broke and has cherished a single expensive product, whether it's the makeup, whether it's the shirt. It just shows that people don't care about their things. And when other people who don't have a lot of things see this type of content, that even invokes more rage. This is just straight up destruction disguised as entertainment. And the thing is that it works. And if you're wondering why anyone would want to be known as the girl who wastes foundation and puts it on her shirt in the car, the answer is actually pretty simple. Views means money. And not just money, but visibility, growth, relevance. Rage bait is one of the biggest ways to blow up on TikTok right now. Beats me as to why, but it's true. It is. And that's why so many creators are opting to do rage bait content. You don't have to be good at makeup. You don't even have to be likable. You just need to be unignorable. There's also this newer dynamic where being hated online is better than being irrelevant. For some creators, being the villain of the week actually boosts their following. People start hate watching. People start checking back to see what their next stunt will be. They build an entire platform around being disliked and then they monetize it. And a prime example of this is one of the messy moms that I talked about a few videos ago, Alexandra Sabol, and another one, Amanda MCG, Resilient Jenkins. Like, these people build platforms around being disliked because they know it will pay the bills. And now I do want to stress that some creators will only use rage bait once in a while, just to get the engagement back up, whatever. It's almost like pressing an emergency button, but for their content and to make sure they're staying relevant, and not in a good way, in my opinion. I don't know why anyone would want to be known for doing that kind of stuff, whether it's a trend or not. Why would you want to partake? But others, like the creator MAYMAY, which we talked about at the beginning of the video, have fully committed to being this type of rage bait content creator. Her entire account is built on product excess and then just being a complete disaster. Now, she's not in the car. She doesn't do chaotic gum smacking. She doesn't wipe product on a white shirt. What baffles people is the fact that she's being intentionally wasteful on purpose continually. I don't even want to know how much this kind of stuff costs her to do, but it's the sheer amount of makeup that's being used that is really invoking rage in people and just everything else about her content. So let's watch some of her content and you guys will see what I'm talking about. You see all the makeup on her face and then all of a sudden it clips to something that seems a little bit more manageable. She's not actually showing all this foundation on her face from start to finish. She's putting the foundation on or whatever that is. Okay, I don't even know if that's actual foundation. It could be just like whipped cream or something mixed with foundation. Who knows what it could be? That's just me thinking off the top of my head, okay? Probably not accurate, but I'm just trying to rationalize what I'm seeing. But then she clips to another clip, I guess you could say, of her having the foundation patted into her skin. There's absolutely no freaking way that you're gonna have that much foundation on your skin and be able to get your skin to absorb it properly. I also don't think it's really healthy to be inhaling all of this stuff and having it so close to like your internal extremities, like your eyes, inside your nose. Like, that can't be healthy. Now, I do want to say her handiwork is quite talented. The main part of the rage bait is the fact that she does her foundation in such an extremely wasteful, over-the-top, excessive way. Everything else about her makeup seems pretty standard. She's doing her makeup the way she likes. I don't have an issue with that part. So as you can see in the beginning of this video, she literally just cut off the top of her foundation and is squeezing it out. The whole bottle is just squeezed out, and she wipes it all over her face. Is she actually keeping that all on her face? No, it's just wasteful. And this type of content to make is very, very expensive. I don't know if she gets sent things in the mail. Most makeup influencers do. So maybe she doesn't have to pay for any of this product. Maybe she's just paying with it from TikTok, because she obviously gets paid from TikTok to make this content, and her videos get millions of views. So maybe she's not worried about the money. It's her money, she can do what she wants, but it's the fact that it's just being wasted. And this brings us to a deeper issue, which you're probably no surprise to hear about, but it's overconsumption. Let's be honest, the beauty industry already pushes excess, limited edition palettes, new formulas every season, massive PR hauls, and shelves filled with unused product that have been normalized online for years. Influencers film declutters where they throw out hundreds of dollars in barely used makeup, or donate it, or give it away, which I prefer they give it away rather than just throw it out. But we all just scroll past this kind of content like it's normal. But now we've moved beyond just hoarding product. These creators are intentionally wasting it for shock value, pouring out bottles, smearing on layers they'll never wear, tossing product aside without blinking, not because they're testing anything, not because they love it, not because it has any sort of positive purpose, but because it makes people mad enough to comment. If we think about the morality of that, when you're creating something to intentionally make other people mad, what do you think that says about the creator? Creating content that will intentionally invoke rage and anger and negative emotions in your audience doesn't sit right with me. There are people who save up to buy one really nice, expensive bottle of foundation. There are creators who make a concealer stretch for months, use products they actually love, and show people how to do makeup in a meaningful way. Seeing someone dump a full bottle on their face for a bit, knowing they'll wipe half of it off moments later, is just disrespectful. It's also incredibly wasteful from an environmental standpoint. Most of the stuff is packaged in plastic, it's not recyclable, it's not biodegradable, and is being burned through in videos that last maybe a minute, sometimes even 15 seconds at the beginning of the video in MAYMAY's case, and has absolutely zero value beyond just enraging people. People like MAYMAY have made this type of content their niche. Her entire brand now revolves around excessive, visually absurd makeup application. Videos where she pours foundation down her face, people in the comments are just so confused by what they're watching, and that's the point. The goal is not to convert you into a fan, although I think that could be possible with her content because, like I said, she's so talented and she does makeup really well. But her intention is to grip you guys into her videos, make you watch the whole thing through, share it, and react to it. At the heart of all this is a bigger question. What does this kind of content say about where we are as a culture? Because this is not about doing makeup well, it's just a performance for the algorithm. About creating content that isn't meant to serve, teach, connect, or inspire, but strictly to provoke. Or watching the beauty space shift from tutorials and creativity to literal chaos. It's calculated mess, waste for the sake of views, and it reflects something kind of bleak. We've reached a point where rage is more valuable than relatability. It also shows how out of touch and disconnected some influencers are from their audience. In a time where people are budgeting, downsizing, and trying to be more mindful about consumption, watching someone dump a $50 foundation on their face, not saying that's how much this foundation costs, but foundation is expensive now, let's say at least $25. Watching someone dump a $25 product on their face just to make people mad feels very out of touch. And not just out of touch, but aggressively so. But it doesn't just stop at one creator. Once someone sees that something gets a lot of views, they recreate it. I've seen it happen with my videos too. Some of my videos go viral, other creators copy them, slap their names on it, whatever, it happens. People see what works, people see what pays, people see what people are watching, and then they recreate it without critically thinking about the message they're putting out there to their audience, about thinking about the backlash they might get. Suddenly, what started with someone being wasteful in their car turned into a whole genre of content that's lasted over a year. And now we're kind of in a feedback loop of waste, irritation, and viral success. And it just keeps showing up even a year later. And at the end of the day, content like this doesn't just say something about the creators, but it also says something about us as the viewer. What we're watching, what we're reacting to, what we're engaging with, it all says something, especially when we're hate watching. Our attention is their currency. So every time we're messaging a friend, sharing this with our friends and saying, this is a mess, look at what they're doing, this is so wasteful, etc., we're feeding the system that tells creators this works, do more of this. And that's where the overconsumption part hits really hard, because it's not just the fact that they're using too much, it's the fact that they're being wasteful on purpose because we are giving them that attention. And I think what makes this trend even more frustrating, on top of the overconsumption and waste aspect of it, is the fact that there's already a space in the beauty industry for bold makeup, for experimental makeup, for breaking the rules and having fun. But this trend is simply not about expression. It's not about expression. It's about exploitation, exploiting outrage for engagement and then exploiting beauty culture for clicks. Now, I'm not going to tell you to never watch these videos. Curiosity will always win. Curiosity killed the cat. You know the saying. We're almost hardwired to not ignore stuff that is simply outrageous. It's going to be very, very hard. I'm not going to judge you for watching this type of content because I'm going to do it myself. Guaranteed, I'm gonna fail. But I think the more we understand what rage bait is and how it operates, the easier it will be for us to disengage with when we come across it. To scroll past, so stop feeding the algorithm with our attention and start asking better questions about what we consume. Because do you want to be enraged all the time? I know I don't. Ask these kind of questions. Who is this really for? What's it trying to sell me? Why is this person okay with wasting product for a reaction? And maybe most importantly, is this the kind of creator I want to support? I promise there are creators out there in the beauty industry that are doing beautiful, innovative, creative things. People who use product responsibly, who are doing it for a purpose, not to invoke rage in people. We don't need another person dumping foundation in their hands in a Honda Civic, okay? We don't need any more of that. Let's give the attention to beauty influencers who actually deserve it. And please do not send hate to any of these creators. This is just a conversation that you and I are having about overconsumption in the beauty space and the wastefulness I've seen when people partake in these trends. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. God bless you all, and until next time.